I started this channel, $1,000,000 Made Easy, because saw this statistic about a year ago or so. Vanguard put out the median account balance for people in these different age groups. And the 65 plus age group was $87,725. And I go, how can somebody work a whole career and only have $87,000 when just a small amount can make such a huge difference? Now, I want to say right off the bat, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just someone who loves numbers and history. And if something's been continuously happening over 100 years, I want to take notice. So this channel looks at these numbers in depth. Um, so what I want to show you what we do on this channel. I want to show you what just $100 a month could do for you. Again, I don't want people ending up with these kind of numbers, 87,000, when they could easily have these kind of numbers. Look what $100 a month is if you just increase that by 3% a year. In other words, 100 a month, 103 the next year, 106, and so on. I ran the numbers. Again, this is using the S&P 500 for the last 100 years. Let's just take somebody that's first starting out in their working career. They're 20, 22. They're just getting out of college or whatever. They don't have anything saved yet. We can run different numbers for you. I love doing that, and that's what we do in this channel. But in this case, I just want to take somebody that doesn't have anything, and all they can afford is $100 a month. Let's see what $100 a month would do. We're looking at the returns for the last 100 years. If you had the 45 years from 1924 on, this is what you would have after 45 years investing just $100 a month, increasing that by 3% a year. $1,906,000, not $87,000. That's just $100 a month. Setting that aside. And again, folks, this is the worst case scenario. In this column, the 45-year column for 1924, you see 1.906. Going down through the worst case is $1,000,009. The median in this column is 1.649 million. The range is from 1 million to 3 million. That's what we like to do in this channel. Just kind of give you a range, give you some kind of idea. Who would have thought just $100 a month, increasing that by 3% a year, would give you this kind of a range over the last 100 years? But I also want to show you what $100 can do in another scenario. What I want to do is look at somebody right here. Let me reset these numbers. Somebody has a mortgage for $250,000 at 7.5% interest over a 30-year period. The calculated payment is going to be $1,748.04. Over that course of that 30-year loan, you're going to pay $629,289, of which $379,000 of that is interest. I want to show you what, again, we're talking about just what $100 can change. Right now, you've got a loan that's being paid off in 30 years, $100. If you had $100 to that payment, in other words, instead of $1,748, you have $1,848. What do? You end up the total cost being $553,000 instead of $629. Your total interest is $303 instead of $379. You're saving $75,000 in interest for that 100. But not only that, you're no longer having to pay for 30 years. You're just paying for just under 25 years. You're paid off in 24 years and 11.7 months. So basically 25 years. $100 cuts 5 years off the mortgage, saves you $75,000. That's what I like to do in this channel. Just run numbers for people, show them spreadsheets, show them what just a little bit of money can do. $100 a month, folks. Normally I run it for a lot more than that, but I want to show you just the potential of $100 a month, both in your retirement savings and your additional mortgage on a mortgage payment. I do want to show one more thing on the mortgage payment. This is interesting. If you look at the actual amortization table, which I like to show this out, this is the breakdown of that first payment. First payment, of course, the payments are $1,748 all the way through, of which that very first payment is $1,562.50 going to interest and only $185.54 going to principal. So after that first payment, what? You're down to $249,814. You got 359 payments left. I want you to notice something. If you would just include the principal of that second payment in payment of the first payment, what have you done? You've knocked what you owe down another $186.70, and you've knocked it down to that. So instead of having 359 payments left, you only have 358 payments left. The net effect is for this $186.70 paid with the first payment, you save yourself another payment of $1,748 in the future because you only have 358 payments left instead of 359. If you look at it from the bank's point of view, what they're doing is they're getting on this payment of 186.70 that you're prepaying. If you don't prepay it, they're collecting 7.5% interest on that 186.70. So they could collect $1,561 over the next 29 years and 11 months on that 186.70. But if you prepay it, they're no longer charging you that. So they're no longer getting 1,748.04 on that because you prepaid it. You knocked the balance down, so you only have 358 payments left instead of 359. You go down through here, it gets a little bit more expensive. Why? Because each of these amounts they're charging a little bit less interest on, so that a little bit more is going to principal. But on from their point of view, they're on this. Let's go down actually a year. On their point of view, on this $198.78 or 70 cents, 7.5% interest, they would have collected $1,748 over the next 29 years on that amount. But if you prepay it down through here, you're knocking that payment out, so they no longer can. There's no longer that payment due in the future, and they're no longer collecting this $1,549.34 in interest. That's what you can do when you prepay uh, the next month's interest, next month's principal with the previous or the payment you're currently paying. Hopefully this makes sense, but it all breaks down mathematically. There's nothing magical about this. It's just a mathematical uh, principle that this 100, for example, this 198.70 would have, at 7.5% interest, would have given the bank $1,549 in interest for a total payment of that. But if you prepay it, you've knocked that $1,748 off of what you have to pay in the future. And your net effect is you've saved another payment. That's what we like to do on this channel, show you what just small amounts can do so you don't end up in this scenario where you have just $87,000 and you're paying on a mortgage for 30 years. When you, for $100 a month, you could knock it down. For $100 a month, you could increase your retirement savings to have $1,000,000 at retirement in the worst case scenario looking forward. Please consider subscribing to this channel. We do all kinds of things with spreadsheets showing you how you can save money and how little it takes to do major gains in your financial future. Please share this with family and friends. Let them know it's a channel that'll run numbers for them. Thanks for watching.